got a quick question, Michael.
Sure.
So we definitely have a lot of customers that are in consortiums and just their owned joint ownership even. So and they do share articles, and I just want to verify what you said earlier. If they publish the exact same article on two sites, did you say that it doesn't negatively impact, but it doesn't help? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
so what Google's going to look at overall is, what is your site? If your site is just a republisher of other people's content, mostly,
Right.
that's poor, right? That's going to hurt. If you've got 90% of the content is yours, but 10% is stuff that's coming from your partners, no big deal. That's going to be fine. Your version of those articles that are republished are probably not going to get indexed. Google's going to look at those, and it might get indexed in the first week, and then Google's going to spot it after their processes run, and they go, okay, we've seen this exact same article over here, and we saw it 5 days earlier than you, or whatever, an hour earlier. Google's going to eventually drop your syndicated copy from the index, but it's not really going to hurt you. The right thing to do is, in your copy, is have something called a rel canonical statement, which is a hidden statement in basically the header of the page that says, hey, this is a copy of this article that's over here on this other website at exactly this location. That's what you're really supposed to do.
Mm.
And then Google won't index it in the first place, and they won't, treat it as any sort of a problem. I
Hmm.
don't think it's all that important. I think Google at this point is good enough that if you forget that rel canonical, Google's going to go, don't worry, we spotted this already anyway.
Right. Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. One thing that we had talked about when you were helping us with just our hometown marketing was you said that it just kind of reminds me of this. If you're gonna, publish, if you want your followers on social media to read a New York Times story, I think at that time you suggested publish a little synopsis on your site with a link to the New York Times and then put your link on Facebook, not the New York Times
Right,
link. Okay.
right.
So, would something like that, in the case of shared content, let's say we've got two newspapers, one publishes the story first. I mean, you just mentioned a whole technical solution, but if the second newspaper wanted to publish it also, should they do the synopsis thing and then link to the original? Would that be better?
You could, if the synopsis was long enough that there's enough content that Google wants to index it, that
Okay.
could get your page indexed as well, which is nice.
Right.
Um, but on the other hand, if what you're trying to do is drive traffic to your partner sites, because it's all owned by the same company,
Right.
then it's not a problem really just to reshare that other newspapers, that's your friendly newspaper within the consortium, share that other newspaper's article on Facebook. It's going to send them some traffic. If they're doing the same thing for you with some of your articles, that's a win-win, and you don't have to get too tricky about it.
Right.
If you want to do the synopsis, that's a bit more work, right? Where you say, hey, our partner newspaper over here published this great story about, affordable housing trends or whatever it happens to be. And then click here to read the whole story. And then you share your synopsis page with
Mhm.
Facebook. Yeah, that's going to drive a bit more traffic to your site before they click through to your friendly other newspaper's site.
Right.
But it's a bit of work. So, it
Right.
depends how popular I think that's going to be, and how much traffic it's going to bring you, whether it's worth the extra work to do the synopsis.
Sounds good.